So many conflicting opinions about the new full-frame mirrorless from Canon EOS RP. Well, I've got my own, and I want to help you decide why some are so disappointed and some are very happy to have this full-frame, affordable mirrorless from Canon. Let's get the specs out of the way. This is a 26 megapixel, 4K capable camera offering dual pixel autofocus, 5 frames per second, fully articulating touchscreen, and Canon's newest Digic 8 processor with that new RF mount. And this is all in the smallest and lightest full-frame camera Canon has ever offered. In fact, it's similar in size and shape to the Canon Rebels and priced at $1299. $1299 for a brand new full-frame mirrorless camera. And at B&H at least, that's currently being bundled with an EF to EOS R adapter, so you can use all of your EF and EF lenses if you want, along with a small grip for slightly better ergonomics for $1299. Canon, nice, aggressive, and impressive pricing. It certainly caught my eye. But, well, before I get to the but, if you're a Canon photographer with a crop sensor body currently and you want to try full frame, this is certainly a decent option. It's affordable, it's lightweight, it's going to take decent pictures, but I do have some reservations that keep me from fully recommending this camera to everyone. Let's put the spec sheet back up. That 26 megapixel sensor, that's the same one that's used in the 6D Mark II. That came out about 2 years ago. It's not bad, but it's certainly a step behind the competition, especially in dynamic range. And actually in dynamic range, it's a step behind the original 6D. That's a sensor that was released in 2012. 2012. Now, this isn't going to keep you from making beautiful photos with this camera, but you certainly won't have the same range as some of the competitors when editing. And it's 4K capable, but it's got that crop. That's fine. At this price point, I'm okay with a crop. But it also loses dual pixel autofocus. Dual pixel autofocus is Canon's awesome, smooth, cinematic focusing system. It works so well, but you can't use it when you film in 4K. You're down to contrast, and that's not good. Now, if you don't care about video, this certainly doesn't affect you. And again, some of you will say, well, I care about video, but I don't care about 4K. And I'll say the same thing I said to you in the EOS R video. For me, 4K is about having flexibility in post. I shoot 4K because it's the same reason I shoot photos at a higher resolution, or the highest resolution that cameras offer. And there's a few added pain points here, and some of this just really stinks of artificially limiting this camera. You can't record at 1080p and 24 frames per second. Wait, what? That is the most normal, standard frame rate combination in just about every camera out there. Why can't you do this? I think they want you to upgrade to the more expensive EOS R. I mean, even little teeny pocket cameras can do this. And this point might be a bug, but you can't record at 1080 at all with an EFS lens attached. Why not? You might likely have EFS lenses. Why can't you throw those on and record at 1080? And no 120 frames per second at 720p. It's just kind of strange. I mean, wouldn't it be nice to slow-mo your kid cannonballing into the pool? Well, you're going to use your phone instead of this camera for that. I mean, it's just missing some pieces that it seems like the marketing department pulled again to protect the EOS R. And, well, actually, I think some is for that reason, and some is technical limitations that Canon hasn't been able to overcome yet. And look, I told myself that I wouldn't spend too much time talking about video features in this video because so many of you are photographers. But here's the thing. I was a photographer, and then I wanted to share some content with the world. And back in 2011, when I started this channel, Canon offered some of the strongest hybrid cameras on the market. They were very good at photos and video, and let me create this channel. So you might be a photographer now, but can you say you won't be interested in video in the next year? And with those lovely, fully articulating screens, this is why some are really pissed off. This would be a great vlogging camera, if not for all of the issues I just mentioned. But let's jump back to photography. 5 frames per second. Fine at this price point with a full frame camera, but you actually only get 4 frames per second with continuous autofocus. And after my 2 months of testing the EOS R, I wasn't very impressed with autofocus, the continuous autofocus. So I expect this to be very similar. Fine for general photography, but lacking for anything action or sports related. And they went with a smaller battery. Again, that's fine at this price point, but just know that battery life is going to be poor. A couple of hundred shots on a charge. But you can charge it via mini standard USB chargers, which I appreciate. So to put it bluntly, piss poor video features when compared to the competitors, and a sensor that was dated when it was released 2 years ago. Can you see why I have some reservations? But strengths. This is a Canon camera. Many of you are Canon photographers and you'll find this camera familiar and easy to use. And as I said early on, it's going to represent an upgrade in quality from crop sensor bodies at a reasonable price. I do think it will sell well. They'll stick it on that Costco shelf and the Best Buy shelf. And I think many of the photographers that will buy it will be happy. And the fact that you can pick this up with the RF 24-105, that's a lovely lens. For 2200 combo, that's a pretty strong value. But you just need to be aware of those pretty serious drawbacks. I'd love to know your opinions. Let's have some intelligent conversations down in the comments below. And if you want to ask me whether I think this is the perfect camera for you, I'm happy to chat with you. Or should you consider one of the many strong alternatives? Fuji X-T30. I'm happy to do that, or you can follow me here on Instagram. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe along with clicking the little bell so that you will be notified of future videos. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.